Fred, a little from field with the defending champs coming down this year.
You know what? We're excited to have the opportunity to come back down here. I know our fans, will be as good as any down in this venue. They were last year. They were over the Thanksgiving tournament when we played Alabama in Maryland. So we're excited to come back here. Is it a different feel? I don't think so. I know our guys are ready to go. Finishing out the year the way we did. A little inconsistent with our first half to where our second half and the way we finished off games. Just need to try, and what we've worked on this last week is really putting those two halves together, getting off to a fast start as well as keeping our foot in the gas. So hopefully we come out and play well. We're going to have to if we want to have any chance of winning tomorrow night.
The guys don't look tense out there. Looks like everybody's pretty relaxed.
Yeah, I think you'd see that with most teams in this setting. I mean, you come in, it's open, so you're not going to show much of what you do. We had a practice before this at an off-site gym, and our guys are really locked in. We had a really good walkthrough, and we went live. Got our guys up and down the floor a little bit, and they're ready to go. This time of year, hopefully you've got all your stuff in. Hopefully it's just minor tweaks at this time of season. But to come out here, you want your guys loose. You want them to come out here and feel good about themselves, get a bunch of shots up, and hopefully go out and play well.
How can this tournament help in momentum for the NCAA tournament? Good and bad, whether you lose or win at all?
Yeah, we've had both. First year we made it. Royce White, Chris Babb, Chris Allen, that team. We lost first round. And I thought got our act back together and went out and played a very complete game against the defending champs in Connecticut. And I thought played very well against Kentucky that year. Just would have taken an NBA team to beat them that season. And then last year obviously winning it, we did have good momentum going into that second round game against NC Central, and played great without George against North Carolina, and still played solid. Again without arguably your most important player against Connecticut. So both ways. I mean, we're going to, whatever happens in this tournament, we're going to be ready to play that following week. We'll get the selection Sunday. We'll go to work that night. Put a game plan together, but we've got some work to do first. Hopefully we do play well here, but either way, whatever happens, we're going to be ready to go next week.
Your sixth man's been very important. 2 years ago, Tyrus, last year, Naz, this year, now Bryce. How do you define his role?
Well,
role?
Yeah, I think people ask about who's your most important player. I think our bench. You could say our whole bench with Matt Thomas, Abdul Nader, who was our sixth man in the last game, and all three of those guys I think have very important roles to come off and try to keep momentum. If we play well, if we get off to a little bit of a slow start, they've got to go in and pick up the energy and get us going. And all three of those guys I think are playing as well as they have all year, especially Bryce's last game against TCU, where he took 3 shots and ended up with 15 points because of his aggressiveness and attacking the rim. Matt Thomas is shooting the ball with a lot of confidence right now. Abdul Nader, with some of the new things we put in, fits what we're doing very well. So all three of those guys, if we want to have a chance of going far, are going to have to play very well for us each time we step on the court.
Fred, last year the talk was how tough it would be to win this tournament in the league. Same thing this year. How do you see, what does it show to you? It's a tougher league this year than it was in the past.
I think that the reason it's tougher this year is just because of the depth. You've got 1 through 10. Anybody can knock off any other team on any given night. It's going to be fun. I mean, it's a fun week for the fans. Starting tonight, you've got Kansas State, who has, it's crazy to think this year, 8 seed has the best record against the top 4 teams of any team in this league. That's crazy to have your 8 seed. With that, what Texas Tech has done, beating us, taking Oklahoma to overtime, almost beating Baylor on the road, and that's your 10 seed. TCU playing well at the right time as your 9 seed. So again, it's just the parity of this league is what makes it so fun. And I know the fans are excited. I know our fans and fans all across the conference are expecting a great week, and hopefully we don't disappoint.
What are you guys going to do during the Texas Tech game tonight?
Everybody's going to watch it, and we'll have 3 of our coaches over here scouting the game. Just preparing for whatever team comes out on top. It's a little bit difficult going into this as far as preparation. What are you going to put in? Whose stuff are you putting in? We've worked on both teams just in case or whoever comes out on top. But we'll be ready tomorrow.
Jameel and Bryce are newbies to this tournament. They know you guys won it all last year. Is there any pressure on guys that haven't played in this atmosphere before, or have they been through it all this regular season?
I don't think so. Jameel played in the national tournament in junior college. Bryce played in different conference tournaments. It's just to go out and play your game. You can't go out and play tense. You have to come out and be loose. You have to go out and just and flow. And, I think that the great thing is having guys that were part of this last year, part of the championship, that we want to help guys along. If they go out and they are playing a little bit of tight, hey, relax. We'll be fine. It's a long game. It's a long tournament. To go out and help those guys get through those tough times.
Fred, I know you have great familiarity with all these teams via the round robin, but is it kind of weird just the uncertainty, the first time not knowing who you're going to play?
Yeah, it is. It's definitely strange, but you hit it on the head, Rob. I mean, you played both, played everybody in this league twice, so you should know their stuff. They will change and tweak things like all coaches do, but for the most part, they are who they are. If it happens to be Texas, their length is impossible to simulate. It's a team with Taylor as one of the fastest guards in the country from end line to end line. They've got guys that can knock down shots. If it's Texas Tech, they're going to come out and defend you. It's going to be a rock fight, and you got to come out and try to match their toughness. So again, you know what their tendencies are, what they're trying to do. They put in a game plan in a short amount of time. We'll watch film after this game tonight and get our guys ready for whatever team comes out on top.
How have you seen Bryce handle this season with probably a little bit different than he would have envisioned when he signed up?
I think he's handled it great. He obviously got off to a very good start. That Arkansas game was an incredible performance by him. And then shifting to his role of coming off the bench, took him a couple games, I think, to get acclimated to that. But he's been really good. He's been very important in our game at Texas. I thought he was the player of the game for us. In our game at TCU, you could argue the same thing. And he said to me, he came into my office after we switched his role, whatever I can do to help this team win, that's what I want to do. And I think he's really bought into that.
Is that a tougher thing for a player to do than, it sounds like the right thing to do, but is it hard for a guy to do that started his whole career, coming in as a fifth year, expecting a big role?
Yeah, it probably is. Yeah, no doubt about it. But he's he's accepted it and done a good job with it. And obviously in our most important stretch, looking ahead, he's going to have to play well if we want to go on a run.
Fred, I imagine everything with Jamie and the Park stuff is close home to you. What have you talked with him about? Is he see it in positive?
Yeah, you know what? I just I texted with him a little bit the night it happened. He was talking about wanting to be here. I said this is my goal, is to be the Big 12 tournament. Obviously, this is before the tests that next morning, where they found out that he was going to have the bypass surgery. Next thing I knew, I asked David Harris last night. I said, "Hey, when's Jamie going in? What day this week?" He said, "Well, he's in there now," and that was a shock. I know today from having that experience, he's not going to remember much. Tomorrow they're going to ask him to stand up, and he's going to say, "I can't." I remember all that stuff. But he's lucky. He said he was embarrassed. That he was getting all that attention and that he fell, or not fell, but he had those symptoms in front of people. I said, "Hell, you got to feel lucky that you were there in that setting." And to have the EMTs right there and to get in to the hospital as quickly as he did. Sounds like his daughter was the one that was an absolute rock star and getting the EMT over there. So, look, Jamie Pollard is as good a shape as anybody. He runs every day. He's got low body fat. It just shows that heart disease doesn't discriminate. He can hit anybody at any time, anywhere. And he's very fortunate to be where he is. And that's what he'll realize once he gets out of the surgery. I hope to talk to him in the next few days and try to help him out a little bit on what that recovery is like.